Welcome to episode 180 of 4th and Jawn. This is the Super Bowl show live. We're taking it back, man. We're having a moment, trying to reflect on winning the Super Bowl. But it's Super Bowl Eve. We have some special guests, some cast members from the documentary, the Eagles documentary. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. Shirley and Barry, they're high energy. They were picked for a reason. You'll know why very shortly. We'll be bringing them on. But overall, how you guys feeling? I know the news on the timeline has been this and that and drama. But today's a day of reflecting, right? But
yes,
overall,
sir.
How are you guys feeling today, man?
Feeling pretty fantastic. I mean, even though we're not in the Super Bowl this year, just this time of year is always exciting, getting to be able to see the best football teams go up against each other. And tomorrow we've got a hell of a game ahead of us. I'm really excited for that one. But as far as reminiscing about the Eagles Super Bowl, what a time it was, man. That entire run, from the regular season all the way through, the juice that this city felt and the energy that just came off every single week. We just knew that was our year. I knew it in the regular season that this was just our year. And it's like every single time, whether it be this movie, any clips that anybody throws up of their experience with the Super Bowl, gets me a little misty. I'm not going to lie, because I remember I take myself back to when I was in those moments. I remember exactly where I was for every single one of them. And it was the most fun week of my life.
Yeah. Prime.
Yeah.
I'm excited as well, man. Just the fact that we were able to give ourselves a moment to be able to reflect at this time of the year. At one point we were always tired of hearing about Super Bowl, but because of the fact that we ended up getting one, here we are able to talk about that day. I'm excited. I'm not really all into the news about what's going on. You guys know where I stand with that. But I'm excited to see some football tomorrow, and just like Evan said, it's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a great game. I mean, you can spin it with any storyline. It's either the GOAT still winning, or it's him passing the torch to Mahomes, him going back-to-back. And you got to root for Andy Reid, especially when his family is going through what they're going through with his son, who's the linebackers coach. He was in the car accident, and his grandson's also in the hospital. So prayers to Andy Reid and his family.
Yeah,
and it's a really great time to reflect on the things that we should appreciate. I mean, the timeline and the Eagles in general, the fans are going crazy with everything going on. So it's nice to really appreciate and focus on the things that are important, the memories that we made with our friends and family a few years ago with the Super Bowl. And just be glad that I know it's been a weird year with COVID and everything, but here we are. We got to the Super Bowl. Players are healthy. Hopefully everyone's family members are healthy, and just glad to be with you guys this morning.
Tim.
Yeah, I mean, it's Super Bowl weekend, so it's a lot of fun. I'm always excited for the big games. This is going to be a hell of a game. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Tom Brady. We also have, tons of talent outside of that. Mike Evans, maybe Antonio Brown. We got Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
We have, Travis Kelce. And then kind of going off of what Chris said, I'm just happy that we're even having a Super Bowl because, this year was been crazy. We could have just not had one. So I think it's just great to have a game.
Yeah, I hear that.
I didn't think we were going to reach this point, and then now
Yeah,
we've got
same.
a great game to watch. So it all works out.
I mean, the Super Bowl in general is just the gift that keeps on giving for me. Every year, I spend it as my birthday. I have a birthday Super Bowl party. That's always something that I've had ever since I was a kid. And then for the Eagles to win a Super Bowl during my birthday, that was still amazing. But shout out to people in the chat. Thank you, Richard. But also the other gift that keeps on giving is this movie. Maybe next year. And if you haven't seen it, get geeked, because I mean it's a great movie. Lot of energy. I may or may have not cried during this movie.
You did.
I did cry. But we have our celebs in the green room. They might not say that they're celebs, but in our hearts they are.
They're
celebs.
icons.
Legends.
That's right.
Shout out to Shirley bringing.
People want to turn their backs on them, and I see why. But you just don't go that extra step. Because once you turn your back, ain't no coming back. Because one day we're going to win. And don't come back and say that's your team. And don't come back and say, yeah, my team won something. Nah. Once you leave the Philadelphia Eagles, get out of here.
I've been there.
It's going to be something that they're going to be talking about for an awfully long time.
Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-S-E-L-E-S, Eagles.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. It's great to be
Thanks for
here.
having us.
So, I mean, how has life been after winning your Super Bowl and after being, just real celebrities in the Eagles nation?
Into the limelight. The
No
Kelly Green light.
No.
know-
Go ahead, Shirley. You go.
When I first saw that clip, I just put my head down because they shot so much of us. I don't know what they have. When I saw that, I was like, oh Lord. But I think the question was, what do you say about Eagle fans that's like bandwagons and they leave and come back? And I think that's the result.
No, you couldn't have said it any better. You couldn't have said it any better.
I mean, you were saying something that it's something we all relate to. We've all seen these people in our lives, the people that they're willing to give up so easy on this team. Not everybody in Philadelphia is full of a bunch of really good fans, but not everybody is that way. Not everybody just lives and dies by the Eagles. So when someone's just wishy-washy like that, we don't got time for you.
And I was getting ready. Listen, I was ready for work and everything. I'm like, why y'all get me so riled up so first thing in the morning? Like, come on, I got to drive in the car and calm myself down. Be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can't stand pretend fans. They don't get in here in my locker room. I won't have it. And I can sort them out. I know from 5 minutes talking with them, I know if they're real Eagles fans or if they're phonies.
That's right, Barry. Let them know.
Oh yeah, you can sniff them out.
And the door swings both ways, and I just tell them, thanks for coming, get out, don't come back. That's all.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
Seriously, I have the greatest friends that come here. You guys all have to come here for a game sometime.
Absolutely.
I want you to meet my family. I want you to meet my family and all my friends. There's no place. Now, you could mention Chicky and Pete's and PJ Willihan's and all those other ones. There's no place for an Eagles game, for an Eagles fan, I should say, to watch a Philadelphia Eagles game. No place like the Hatchett's locker room. This place is just off the charts. And I'm so blessed. I thank God every day and every night to have the family, a wife like I have that goes along with my white job ideas. And for my friends, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch upon, Barry, you've been an inspiration to me. Watching the video, watching how you made that clip talking about the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Listen, this past year, I ended up getting a bigger house for my family. And the first thing that I wanted to work on was a man cave. And watching that place behind you right now was such an inspiration. I mean, I'm nowhere near to what you have.
But you get there.
But exactly, you know what I mean? I will let it build, but where I'm at right now was just like a big stepping point for me, you know what I mean, where I finally got it. I invite my friends over to watch the game, enjoy the Eagles now, even though this past year was horrible. But you know, it was just still the fact that I was able to accomplish that. Yeah. And, you know, watching the video, you're just a great inspiration. And trust me, I'm at the same point with my wife, like just getting her to be on the same page. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed that she's by my side. You know, it was a little bit, you know, trying to get her to the point, but hey, I'm there with her now. And, you know, I mean, she's got my back all the way through. So I thank you so much for what you have, you know, I mean, pushed onto someone like myself.
Thank you for the kind words. That's very nice.
And Barry, you compared the Hatchet to like the PJ Wellahans and the chicken pizza world. It's nothing like that. Those are, like cookie cutter franchises. You know what?
Wait a minute, hold up. Pete is a very good friend of mine, so
I wasn't trying to throw any hate towards their way. I'm simply saying there's a difference between a franchise and a unique experience, like Barry's offering there at the hat.
Thank you very much.
Just in case Pete get a chance to watch it.
That's all right.
Pete, I love your fries, man. I love your fries.
No crab fries for Evan. He's banned forever for life. No, but Prime and Barry, you were talking about your wives and the ladies of Eagles Nation. I mean, one thing that stuck out to me, Shirley, when I was watching the movie, was that moment where you were teaching the other women, about the game.
I missed that.
Yes,
and it's not. It's like it might be something like someone might see that and look that over, but for me, it's like you're taking an opportunity out of your day in life to teach these other women about the game that you love and that passion that you exude. It's touching because I'm a geek like that. I'm a nerd like that about my Eagles. I see someone else like that.
Yeah,
trying to give back and be a part of the community. That's great, man. So shout out to you.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, what was happening at our church, Beloved St. John Evangelist, 4541 on Broad Street. So the men's ministry will always have a football Super Bowl. And I'm like, women, we love football too. So one year, Minister Coleman, he said, you know what, Shirley, we having a football weekend, the whole weekend dedicated to, So he said, how about you teach, you always talking about teaching, you want to teach the women football. Why not do it here? Why not just do it here? So we started out, actually started out with men and women. So I'm in the classroom, had about like 30 people in there. Now, mind you, I have to go real mild to like baby, like, what is a yard? What is a first down? Then I hear the guys in the back, oh man, come on, don't you know? And I turn around, I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. No. This is called Do's and Don't Football 101 for the ladies with secrets. We have secrets, ladies. So any ladies that's watching, trust me, it's a benefit to allow your man to watch football on Sundays, Saturdays, Thursdays, or whatever day football come on. So to make along the fast forward, after it was over, the women came to me and they said, you know what? We love it. We really want to learn. They was afraid to ask questions. They said, but can we do it without the men? I said, I saw that. I felt it. And yes, so ever since then, and I apologize, man. I do not discriminate. No. But the women was afraid to ask questions because they didn't want to be like, oh, that's stupid or that's dumb.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, no need to apologize because you touched on some serious points. You don't want to bother us and start asking questions during the game. So you took the time and started schooling them. And then let me point out something too that had me on the floor. You are so right that if my lady was to walk by with no clothes on, I'm going to tell her, get out the way. You're messing with my game. You know what I mean? I was on the floor when you said that. I was on the floor.
I'm not gonna even lie. That I had that situation happen, and I was like, I don't know if you really understand how much of an Eagle fan I am. While I appreciate
halftime, baby,
game's gonna start maybe after the game if they win.
If they win,
I'm gonna be in no type of mood if this goes south.
I'm with Prime. Halftime exists.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I had something real planned last year. I was going to reach out to the Eagles and, try to see if I can get one of those rooms, one of the theater rooms, and have the ladies come and have a bigger explosion for them, and so they can go to the pro shop and going to do the whole big thing, and then of course COVID. So although I know I can still do it because they've been like asking Shirley when. I'm like, ladies, we just gonna have to wait because I know I can do it like virtually, but this is why I'm telling them to wait. Although I would give y'all a private code, a passcode, who gonna be in your household? Because at the end of the day, I have secrets to give out to the women only. Men are not allowed. So if y'all,
she keeps on dropping that.
She keeps
really
on, yeah.
into my interest right now.
You're
What's
right.
going on in
You're
there?
right.
I'm trying to tell you.
Secrets have come up more than once.
One secret I gave out was the woman, being naked walking across. You know what I mean? I need to let everybody know. But there are other perks to allowing y'all to watch. Okay, a married couple, one of the ladies, she cried. She said, "Shirley, thank you for explaining certain things to me. I thought my husband during football season didn't love me." So I literally, was upset with him, angry with him. She said, "Now I understand from what you've been explaining to us. It's not about, I'm not married, when football, I'm married to football." No, that's their time. They're 3 to 4 hours, that's their time. So if they miss anything, because you want to ask them a question, you want to mess up for yourself. I'm trying to tell you, we have the privilege. We hold all the cards, all the keys when it's football time. Football time. So they asked me, and I'm going to stop talking. They said, "Well, when is it over?" Football is never over. I took them through the draft. I took them to the combines. I took them to preseason training camp. They said, "Oh, my God." I said, "This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all have the privilege. Y'all have the keys. That's why I'm trying to let y'all know all year long. Yep. Just pick your day." I said, "Show them the dates of the calendar." So on this date, what do you want to do on this date? Well, we normally would do this, but since it's football, we don't do this. I said, okay, so let them know during this time, during this date. I can't tell y'all what I drop with them.
Yeah.
Then they said, "Oh, okay." So now they have the calendar of the whole year, so they can plan around.
There
you go. One and one together.
There you go.
So Shirley, when you were explaining this to these women, they were trying to learn football. Did you see the evolution of them becoming bigger fans? Did you see?
Oh my gosh!
So
yes.
Could you just explain that? And when you started at the baseline, they didn't know much about the game,
Right.
and then once they understood it more, did you see them become bigger fans through that?
Right. So they came not even bigger fans. They understand they can watch it on TV now. They understand they can watch it on TV now. They understand how many when they need to get a first down. They understand how many points, and when you score a touchdown versus you kicking a field goal. They didn't know none of that. Then I was showing them how to read the little box on the TV when they put up the stats, the score, how many timeouts they have left, all the little things that, ain't nobody paying attention to. But I'm like, these are the things that y'all need to watch out for, because when it goes to a commercial break, I said, and, they called a timeout because let's say somebody hurt on the field and you want to ask a question. If their man is down, you know what I mean? And you asking them a question, they trying to see if this person is hurt. It could be the quarterback, it could be a linebacker, running back, tight end, or whoever. I said, and you asking them a question, they need to find out, is they man gonna be back in this game? Is they good enough to still play? So when the commercial time come up, don't ask no questions. Trust me, not during that time. So I'm telling them different times when not to ask questions. So as football went on, they would come to me and say, "Oh my God, I'm able to watch football with my husband, and he explaining stuff to me, and now we could get closer through that." I'm like, yes. So I'm excited. So yeah, they love it now.
Hey,
all ages.
Hey, we gotta get a book written real quick. I mean, that sounds like a money maker to me. I buy it for my lady. She probably learned something.
Gail's just trying to get in on the secrets. He's gonna read. He's gonna read the book.
No.
We could use these secrets when our women watch the Bachelorette, because I'm sure, Barry, do you walk across the screen naked when your wife is watching the Bachelorette?
Many times. I've done that numerous times. I walked down to the supermarket naked until the cops came and got me. That's what I mean.
I love it.
I've been known to do those things.
Now, Barry,
well, when you look like Brad Pitt, like you do, Barry.
The women, I have to fight them all.
Get away with it.
Yeah. Now, Barry, going back to the movie, what was one of your favorite moments? I thinking about one of the moments where you were saying that if you had passed away, like you'd want to be watching Eagles football, like that.
Absolutely.
Really.
The truth, absolutely the truth. There's no, when I have to go, everybody has to go sometime. I pray that I'm here in my locker room watching an Eagles game with my family and my friends, and that's it. I'll tell you, after that Super Bowl, I had my card. The next morning, I had my cardiologist call here on the phone, want to know if I was okay. My family doctor called. Dr. Dorsheimer, who was the Eagles team doctor out in Minneapolis, they were still there. He called me after the game to see how I was because I've been a good friend of his. He comes here once a year. Now he's with the Flyers. He's a team doctor with the Flyers.
Wow.
But I'll tell you, I had the next day, I had over 200 messages. I guess you call them messages on that thing where you get on the computer.
Yeah.
People from people. I'm old school. I play 8-track tapes yet. But these over 200 of them from such nice people that some of them I didn't even know, but they knew who I was. They were so happy for me. I mean, I'm just a nut job fan, but they acted like I was playing in the game or something. It's just a wonderful feeling. And I think I've said this before on your show the last time I was on. When you make friends with an Eagles fan, and I don't care what part of the country, but when you make fans with an Eagles fan, you have a friend for life.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that it's such a close group. And I said this on the Jimmy Kimmel show when I was featured on there the one night, and we were playing the Giants that night. Now, of course, he was up in New York at doing this thing, and I said right on Nationwide, the very best fans, bar none, of all sports are Philadelphia Eagles fans. I don't care where you go, and I stick by that statement. We get a bad rap. A lot of times we get a bad rap from folks, but it's just because we're so gosh darn passionate about our team. I mean, I live, eat, sleep, drink Philadelphia Eagles football 365 days a year, 24/7. You could call me at 4 a.m. I'm ready to talk football with you. As long as it's not a Cowboys fan. If it's a stinking Cowboys fan, I can't stand them. I don't get me started on that.
I love it.
And Barry, you touched on something too, where you talked about, once you find an Eagles friend, you've got one for life. And that just made me think about how, I feel like Eagles fans more than anybody else, I know about myself, I guarantee you and everybody else in this party, whenever I travel and I'm in airports, whatever, I'm always wearing Eagles gear because I'm always looking for that interaction where I'm out in Arizona or California and someone's like, oh, go Birds. And you instantly have that connection. That's what I think is so cool about our fan base is no matter where you are in the country, if you're repping the Eagles green and the other person is too, instantly you hit it off like that.
That's absolutely. And don't be like a Cowboys fan. As soon as you have a bad season, you can't find any Cowboys games. You don't see any stars walking around in their hats or their
They go into hiding. Yep.
Absolutely. They go under their rocks like all the cockroaches do. You can't find any of them. I'm an Eagles fan. We stank this past year. I'm the first one to admit it. It was a lousy year. It was bad. Started off bad with this darn COVID. The darn COVID stuff. Training camp was messed up. You didn't have any training camp. Injuries upon injuries upon injuries. We stank. It was a horrible year. But the day after the last game, I was repping. I had my Eagles Zubaz pants on, my Eagles shirt, my Eagles hat, and I paraded around town. And people said, Hatchet, way to go. You love your Birds. Yeah, go Birds all the time. Something I learned from my late dad. Now, he's the one that got me hooked on being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. In fact, here's something that I don't know if they showed this in when we were doing a tease for the movie. But here's a solid sterling silver. I guess you can't see it that good.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. It has his name on there. His stage name, he was in show business, was Shorty Long. And this was given, my dad played piano for on a lot of the early Elvis Presley songs, Don't Be Cruel, Hound Dog, a bunch of them. That's my dad playing piano. And when my dad, when Elvis Presley left New York to go to Nashville and Memphis to do his recordings, this is a solid silver cigarette lighter with my dad's name engraved on that Elvis gave to my dad.
Nice. Wow.
And every game, I have this in my pocket. And I always put my hand in there, rub it, and say a little prayer to my dad. And on Super Bowl Sunday, oh my word, I think I had this in my hand almost the whole game. And especially at the end of the game when Tom Brady threw that Hail Mary and you hear them all reset, oh, the ball is tipped up in the air. And everybody, all of Eagles Nation stopped. It's in the movie. It's just like the world stood still. And then all of a sudden, when that ball bounced on the turf, and we're always, and the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
I just got chills, man. I just got chills.
You know what, Barry?
That'll live in my heart forever.
Mr. Barry, I'm glad you brought that up. Fellas, I don't know about you all. I think we were robbed of a cheer because when that ball did drop, how many seconds did go by? When the sidelines didn't know, the guys didn't know, we all waiting. Yeah. Okay, I think we was waiting for a flag or something.
Right.
So I think we got robbed those few seconds. And like when the ball fall, we did nobody did y'all cheer?
No, we were all like, I stood still like
the world stopped. The world stopped.
Yeah. And then Collinsworth couldn't sound more disappointed when you realized the truth.
Oh my God!
The game is over.
Yeah, exactly. We was robbed. We was robbed. Chris. Ending, and I never. Every time I look at that, when I get to the ending, I get so frustrated. I'm like, that's messed up. When everybody else won a Super Bowl, you know right then and there that they won.
Yep.
Bam.
We had to wait for a flag or wait to make sure that it was really our game that we won. Then once we realized we won, then we got excited. But just those few seconds, I always wondered that anybody else feel that way.
I did. And I also, it was almost as if when that ball was up in the air, it was never going to come down. And I'm also thinking that, like, if he catches this ball, we're never winning the Super Bowl. We're never winning the Super Bowl. That was my thought process. But thankfully, it went the way that it did. I was on the phone with my father that night, and as soon as the ball hit the ground, instantly lost connection. I think like just the city, like all of the cellular towers, everything went out, and it was just chaos from that.
The NSA
moment.
Shut it down. They were like, "We gotta shut this down."
Cities are about to burn down.
I was at a Super Bowl party in Newport, Kentucky, so I was really the only like diehard Eagles fan there. So I remember everybody was kind of being like, "Oh, the game's over, the game's over," and I'm like, "No, not yet. They still have a play." And then the play was over, and they were like, "It's over," and I was like, hold on a second.
Let's be.
There could be a flag.
Sure. I've never been here before. Just let me be sure.
I was like, "Hold on a second, guys."
It was funny because after we won the Super Bowl and we hit Broad Street, we lost Evan. Like I didn't see Evan for like 4 hours later. He had like a gash on his eye, he was bleeding, and I'm like, "What happened to you? Where did you go?" It's like, "I don't know, but the Eagles won."
So what happened was, we ended up we were at a bar, and we ended up getting rented out the whole bar, 4thandjawn, and they were kind enough to be able to let us keep some 30 packs in the fridge for after the game. And so there's so many great memories from that Super Bowl, but I remember specifically right after we won the game, running out, and I had a drawstring full of 30 beers in my backpack, and then the seam broke, and all the beers fall out the bottom. And me and Erin, this woman who's a friend of the show, are standing on the side, and we're just passing beers to people that are passing by. Like, we won the effing Super Bowl. We didn't want to waste any of them. And then right after that happens, someone comes out with a ladder, hits me right in the face, busts my eye wide open, and then Erin wrapped a scarf around my head, and then I guess I was a little dazed and drunk. I got separated from the pack. I ended up on top of a police barrier with my old physics teacher in high school, and I was drinking a beer with him. It's the craziest thing ever. All I hear is I'm down on the street. All I hear is, Evan. I'm like, "Yo, Mr. Thompson, what's up?" I was like, "You gave me detention a couple of years ago. You want to talk about it?" Now's not the time. Get up on there, have a beer with him. It was a crazy night.
Yeah, it was awesome. I remember my two grandsons. I have two grandsons, and they're my co-commissioners here at the locker room, Griffin and Nick Klee, and they were up on stage with me the last 6-7 minutes of that game. And when the ball went up in the air, and we didn't know if it was going to be another Tom Brady miracle or what.
Yeah.
And when we finally won, they hugged me, and I hugged them. They're the world to me. My family's the world to me. I said to them, "Boys, you don't know how lucky you are. You're both so young." They were both under 20 at that time. I said, "You're both so young, and you get to experience a Super Bowl victory." I've been waiting since 1950. Well, since 1960, they were world champions. I was waiting since 1960 to get another world champion and to get a Super Bowl. And it's true. You never know when you're going to get back. You can have a great year like that, and look, the next year the wheels fall off. So
and that kind of
we saw that happen.
yeah. And that kind of makes me think of the title of the movie. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
You keep on saying in your head, hey, maybe next year. And we ended up winning it. And I mean that ride was amazing.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to even play the trailer to this wonderful movie. But I'm gonna bring it up right quick. Get fired. I still get chills watching this.
Yeah.
But here we go. A 3, a 2, 1.
The national perception of the Philadelphia sports fan is that they are lunatics.
Animalistic freaks that have a jail inside their stadium.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. It's a union city. It's a rough-and-tumble city.
The only thing they've cared about since 1776 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles Nation, baby.
Being raised up in North Philly, you gotta be hard. Whatever we do, we have to work at it 10 times hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the soul of the Eagle fan base, Eagles Shirley.
I love my team. I ride or die for them. But they got to want to do the same thing for us. They got to want to do the same thing for the fans.
I feel your frustration. 60 years in a slump.
Carson Wentz threw 2 touchdowns. The Eagles beat Washington.
They don't have Wentz, they don't win the game.
Absolutely.
Run the motherfucking ball. Think run it.
Wentz, he's gonna run.
Wentz is out for the season with a torn ACL.
Eagles' Super Bowl dreams ride on their backup quarterback.
Nick Foles is now taking the lead.
They lose one player, and now all of a sudden, they lay down and die.
I believe in my team. It's what happens soon. Every year I believe.
A Super Bowl championship in this town is the holy grail.
If I would have to go, I would want it to be during a game.
Did you ever doubt Rocky? Ready! We're the city of underdogs.
Buckle up. This next 30 minutes is going to be something.
You ride it down with your team all the way or no way. You gotta be an Eagle fan for life. Period.
Hey, you guys want to stand up and take a bow or something?
I want to stand up and give a.
I am standing up.
I cannot wait to watch that as soon as we're done here. I can't wait to watch it again. Like, oh
I got the feels. I got the feels now. Just watching that trailer.
Yeah.
Now,
Awesome.
now, shout out to Amy, Amy Cicero. She sent a box, so we're doing a little unboxing real quick, and we got a little contest. Whoever follows, we'll be putting out on the 4th and Jawn Twitter account. We're going to be giving away some gifts here. Everyone likes stuffing, right? We have a maybe next year hat.
Yes.
Nice.
We have a maybe next year T-shirt here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much
Sweet.
cool. I might be keeping this one for myself, guys. But this right here, we have two maybe next year DVDs here, which we will be giving away. All you have to do is follow the movie maybe next year on Twitter and 4th and Jawn. We have a maybe next year mug.
Yeah. And we got people that just watched the trailer and they're asking where they can see that. It's available on Amazon. So if you want to go check that out, that's the place to be.
So I mean, these are great collector's items. I mean, like I'm weird like that. I have the Super Bowl movie. You know, the one that Eagles put out.
Yep.
But I haven't opened it yet because I'm just like I just want to stare at it. Like,
that makes two of us.
I still can't even believe it happened. So I just look at the DVD. I'm like, yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
I have that, but right now I have the actual game from the whole day recorded from my DVR, and I recorded it on a DVD player on a DVD. So when I'm finished with the DVR recording, I will have because I needed to see the commercials. I needed to see, them talking trash, Mr. Collins talking
Chris
trash.
Collinsworth. Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that almost gave me a stroke that game.
Yeah, the whole
he hates the Eagles. He hates them.
He does.
He does.
We hate him.
Really does.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
But hate is a strong word.
Ways.
So, we cannot stand him. I'm gonna say that. Can't stand him. I don't like how he talked down. When it first came on, he said, everybody know who Brady is, but Foles. Let's go back to 2013 when Foles had this magical year. Dude, just the fact that you put him down like that, you know what I mean? He was gonna rise up. Yeah. He was so calm, cool, and collected.
And on that, how about on that questionable when Zach? It was a catch, no question about it.
He was trying hard.
And Chris Collinsworth. Well, when they review this, that's not a catch. He kept saying,
I don't know if that's going to be a catch, guys.
He was trying to speak it into existence.
Yeah, make it so. But
exactly. And
so
then
you only took 5 steps, guys. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah. And then we was up. Well, Brady, how he do these magical comebacks. So it ain't over, folks. I'm like, shut up! Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah.
So I gotta ask you guys.
He was willing it for them for Tommy Boy to win. You saw that in the movie with the golf when I'm out in my golf cart and I'm going around the field like a nut. We're coming for you, Tom Brady, pretty boy. My neighbors actually called the police. They thought there was something wrong here. Honestly, they called the
They don't know who they live next to by now?
They thought I was some insane guy from an asylum escaped or something. I don't understand.
You don't know by now.
So I got to ask you guys, because, obviously one of the big pivotal parts of that season of the movie was the Carson Wentz injury when he went down. Like, how much was your guys, how did your confidence shift when that happened? I obviously we're all going to back the Eagles no matter who the quarterback is, but what did your expectations, how did they change after that happened?
Go ahead, Shirley, you go.
Thank you, Mr. Barry. So 94 WIP, they gave a trip. So I actually went on the trip and I was actually at that game. I saw it happen. I saw the hit and my stomach just cringed. But for me, in my faith in the Lord, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, Lord, I'm praying that he all right. He can get up, bounce back up and, still kind of continue to play. But when he didn't come back out and Foles came out, so in the Coliseum, everybody was like, oh no, oh my gosh, that's the end. And I'm looking around like, what in the world y'all talking? I'm like, oh gosh, oh, that's it. And I'm like, that really made me look like, well, we had all our hope in one man.
Yeah.
No, this is a team.
Yeah.
This is a team. At the end of the day, we did not get this far. And I said something to one person. I'm like, yo, don't. The way that man looked at me, I was like, shut up, Shirley. This man been drinking.
So
we don't forget that I'm an Eagle fan right about now. And just, so for me, my hope was still in the team. But to hear the fans just was so sad that Carson went down and that's it. And we know the football guys don't love us now. And we're not going to never win nothing. Oh, that's it for us. That's it. I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart was hurting. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be the one that's going to encourage. I'm going to be the one. I don't care if somebody get mad at me. So we walking back to the bus. I'm like, we Eagle fans. One man go down, another man come up. We're going to pray for Wentz. That's what we're going to do. But we're not going to give up. Foles can do it. Then a few people like, yeah. I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on. I need y'all. I need y'all to be with me. Come on, y'all. This is us. We're Eagle fans. We're here in California. Come on now. Come on. So then they was like, yeah, we Eagle fans. So yeah, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. So I don't know how long that lasted, but it lasted long enough to get to the bus off.
Nice.
So real quick, Mr. Barry and Miss Shirley, my brother is a Cowboys fan.
Right? Oh,
yeah. I was waiting for that shoe to drop.
We're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it right there. But
hell, we are.
There was 2 people that were by me that when that happened, and the minute it happened, I told my brother and my best friend that was there, we're gonna be all right because Nick Foles knows this system.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine. The only part that I got into an argument with them being Cowboys fans and a couple other people during that week was how they came and clowned Carson Wentz when he got hurt. That was my only dispute with them. I don't wish
no class.
Yeah. I don't wish no hurt on anybody. Even
Anyone,
like this past year when Dak got hurt, I felt for the man. Like that hurt.
Exactly.
But that was the only back and forth that I had with my brother and my best friend that day. But let me tell you, the confidence, when going back to the confidence level on where we were at, I was so confident that Nick Foles was going to be fine because he knew our system. Now, he didn't make me look good the next game when we played the Cowboys and we got shut out. Don't get me wrong, but I was still, my confidence level was this high that year because it wasn't just a one-man team. Yeah. It was the team in general, the chemistry we had going further into the season and further into the playoffs and then going over the top. That was my concern. As long as the team stayed together, we were good, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I told everybody when that happened, when Carson went down, the locker room was jam-packed, and you could hear a pin drop. I mean, it's like the wind went out of everyone's sails. Mm-hmm. I hit the mute button I didn't want to listen to that stinking Collinsworth. I hit the mute button, and I said, listen, everybody listen to the hatchet here. Now, I'm an old guy, and I have some experience here with this. We didn't come this far all this year. We had such a phenomenal year to get home field advantage. Yeah. We didn't come that far to pack it in, to give up. We were going to get it done with Nick Foles, and I had confidence that Nick Foles was going to. In fact, when that brain-dead Chip Kelly shipped Nick Foles out of here, I could have went down there to Philly and choked him. I was very, very upset with that. All Nick Foles did was have a year with 27 touchdowns and what, 2 interceptions? And he trades him for a bag of chips? Come on. So, but anyway, I told my friends here, I said, listen to me. You listen to the old hatchet. At the end of the day, the Eagles are going to be all right with Nick Foles, and he's going to get us to the promised land. And when it came to be, oh my word, it just the best feeling in the world. Just the best year.
Yes, sir.
It's just awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Barry and Shirley, first off, thank you guys for being shining representations of being true diehard fans. I mean, you guys just having the faith in Nick Foles and the team in general, it just shows like the difference between the people who jumped on the bandwagon during the Super Bowl run and the people before. I mean, like prime story, my friends and family, they always thought I was crazy because in April 2017, I was telling them, I said, I don't know why I think that we're going to win the Super Bowl. And I just kept on telling people that. And the funny story that I have from it is this jersey here. It's a misprinted Carson Wentz jersey that came out in 2017, and it says Super Bowl MVP on it. It's a misprinted jersey. And no one wanted it. None of my friends wanted it. And they're like, it's jinxed. Like, something's going to happen. No one wear the jersey. No one buy the jersey. And I'm like, I'm getting the jersey because I said Carson Wentz is going to win MVP and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. So, of course, he has a great year. And then the Rams games happen. Everyone's like, you suck. You jinxed the team. Like it's all your fault. You shouldn't have wore that jersey. And I'm like, no. I said, what better story, like what more Philadelphia storyline would it be that Nick Foles comes back after almost retiring and then wins the Super Bowl, and you have to go through the same teams that you went through to get to New England the first time. You got to go through Atlanta, you got to go through Minnesota, and then you have to go to Minnesota and beat New England. I mean, it couldn't have happened any other way. It had to be as stressful. You had to have as much faith as possible, but it was worth it. I mean, it was worth everything. I mean, you had family that was with you, family that didn't make it to that day, but like you knew they were with you. The energy in the room was contagious. Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Can I just say that I want to thank Shirley and Barry first off for this. Kicks me off again here. Sorry about that. But literally, you guys are amazing. It was fun to have you on. But to hear just the words you're saying right now, like Barry, just talking about, trying to provide hope for people. I was there with my family trying to tell them, look, we don't give up. Nick Foles is the perfect backup. Really, I was fighting for my life at the time, so it was a little different. I was trying to ride with perseverance no matter what in life. So to ride out, like literally rise up with the 4th and Jawn crew, with everybody just let's get this feeling right. That family feeling. To finally get it done was something amazing. And when you talked about your father, that was something that hit home with me. I had his picture sitting right there with me. I know that was something as a boy, he got to see a championship in 60, but he never got to see a Super Bowl. I was here. And that to me, oh my God, being with my family, just sharing that love. That was
everything.
So great movie, guys, just showing people that we are real fans, and they don't like us because we're so damn passionate. And I love it.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for the nice words. And before we leave, I don't know how much time we have, but I would like to thank.
Record to the end of time,
Okay. I want to thank. I've received so many wonderful messages and phone calls from so many nice folks since the movie came out, and I just want to thank everybody. I tried to thank everybody that I could with again, I'm no whiz with the computer. I'm old school, but if any of you are watching this and you sent me a message of nice words, I just want to thank everybody. It makes an old man feel really good.
Well,
and
thank
you guys
us
for having
hell
me.
of a movie. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say that, man, that entire year, the way that you guys, that movie, and you guys were able to capture how everyone was feeling. Shirley, I really wish that you were there the day after that Rams game, because I didn't have that same type of confidence. That day afterwards, it was like Black Monday. I remember driving I was in school at the time. I remember I drove the entire way, 45 minutes with no radio on or anything. I didn't want to listen to music. I didn't want to listen to sports radio because I knew exactly what they were going to be talking about, and it was just going to make me upset. And that's where I was at. And then once I think a lot of Eagles fans, they had this feeling when the Super Bowl run was actually happening in the playoffs. It's like, man, I just wish Carson, this is Carson's team. He's the guy that deserves to be there, blah, 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 blah. There was a lot of that talk going on. But I think that the way that it played out with a backup quarterback coming in, it was that much more valuable in the sense that it proved the entire team is what was needed to win that Super Bowl. And that's what it was. Everybody was firing on all cylinders that year. Like the depth chart was as deep as it's ever been in my life. So
that was true Philadelphia. That was Philadelphia right there.
It was. Yeah. When you say the definition of team, that team was literally the definition of what a team looks like. I can go on about different stories, but just you had the perfect veterans to hold that locker room together. You had Chris Long. I remember talking to some of the other players who were saying that Chris Long was like a glue guy who just made the team laugh, brought the team together. Guys were hanging out at each other's places, just being just a full team. And just even after Carson went down, I remember being in Santa Monica. I was down by the beach after the day after, just sitting in the sand, just looking off into the sun. Like, man, we lost Carson, but I was like, nah, man, this is a great team. Like, I've watched this team long enough to know that I have never seen what we've seen on that run. And I was that next week, I was like, we're still going. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
Next man up.
People are like, are you crazy?
Think about that year, and think about that year. What happened here in Philadelphia? We hosted an NFL draft.
Yeah.
Come on, to me, that set things up.
The stars are aligning.
It was so beautiful. They talked about it for I don't know how long. The way the city held that together with the Philadelphia Eagles, and then I got picked to go in the back the pick a number, for this. My number was the draft for the Saints, and I'm looking at the number, and I forgot the name of the guy who they had chose, and I'm looking at the number and the name, and I'm looking at the Eagles table, and I want to tell them who it was so fast. You can't do that. They got all the security people in there, and I'm like looking at them like, can't y'all read my thoughts? Can't y'all read? This is who they
some Morse code tapping your head.
But they watching everything. But the fact that I got picked to go in the back to be part of that NFL draft experience here in Philadelphia, I'm like, this is. So that whole year, think about
magic.
The whole year for us, it was just things that never had happened in Philadelphia before. It was our time. It was our season. And it was just everything that came together. And sorry that Carson went down, but it was really, to me, about Foles.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been shipped off. He shouldn't have been sent off. He was supposed to be here. He was supposed to take us to the Super Bowl. He was supposed to be in those games. He was supposed to have his what you call it when you like nerves. His nerves came through that Dallas game in this show, and then the fact that they tried to get on him, and who was that? Peters, like, come on now, don't touch my quarterback. Don't touch my quarterback. Yeah. And at the end of that game, yeah, their heads was down or whatever, but it didn't stay down. And we moved on to the next game, and to the next game, and to the big game, baby. And then here we are today talking about maybe next year how they kept the whole daggone thing. 4th and Jawn, Mr. Barry, everybody listen. I'm excited every time we talk about it. We can talk about Super Bowl. We can be part of that conversation because we have something that a lot of other teams still are trying to get to.
Absolutely.
You're right.
And that's the thing. You look at a situation that the Eagles are going through right now, and you look at some of the younger Eagle fans in the fan base who I'm like, look, man, you didn't have to wait as long as we did to get a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Be glad that you got one early. But these hard years, the maybe next years, are part of being an Eagle fan, and this is what you build some calluses on your hands. This is what you build your grit as an Eagle fan. That's what it's all about. You can hold your trophy like Prime. Look at that shiny.
There you go. I like that Prime. I like that.
It's a beautiful thing.
Or you can have the real ring. And I almost cried. I was crying. I had to put the shades on because I was crying.
Yeah.
Looking at the ring.
I got the Lombardi trophy on my leg. There was one thing that I said, and it was one of those things that I had never had any particular tattoo ideas in my mind growing up or whatever. I was never a huge tattoo guy. But there was always one. There was always one thing I wanted because I had heard no Super Bowls so many times. I wanted to get that Lombardi trophy on my body. So whenever anyone had anything to say, I just point right at it. It's like you can talk to my leg.
Yeah, these young kids today, they just Eagles fans, young Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to way back. Eddie Kyatt as a coach, and on Chip Kelly, one of the worst. Richie Kotite. We spilled our bucket out there. Okay, we didn't give up. Remember when his shorts got wet?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was from his sweat. But listen, I think maybe next year, it might be a little rough sledding. I don't know. It all depends what happens in this off season. Exactly where.
Yeah.
It's in a state of confusion right now.
Yes, it is.
Just bear with it. You'll learn from this. What's that old saying? What doesn't
kill you makes you stronger.
That doesn't kill you. It's going to make you stronger. So stay with it. We'll be all right.
These are the times that we go through these times.
Absolutely.
And if we didn't have the Super Bowl, it would be hard. This year would have been so much harder if we didn't have a Super Bowl behind us. But the simple fact that, like you said, a lot of the younger generation are starting to learn, and they starting to like, man, the Eagles ain't nothing. The Eagles this. No.
Yeah.
You can't say that because at the end of the day, this is what you have to go through. This is your time to go through.
That's what you signed up for.
But if you're a true Eagle fan, if you bleed green, you have to go through it and ride through it because when they rise up, then you can talk about that's my team. You can say that's my team. So I know I don't know if you're going to ask this question yet or not, but you talk about the maybe next year in the movie, which part you like in the movie. And for me, I got so sick and tired of hearing all the commentators on the NFL Network channel, ESPN, you name it, talking about our Philadelphia Eagles and how we're the underdogs. We're the underdogs, but we got home field advantage. We're the underdogs.
Yeah.
We're not going to win. We the underdogs. We're not going to win. So when they asked me, I don't know what they asked me because I think I blanked out. But when I called into WIP and I was talking to Angelo, and I just remember saying, you know what? I'm tired of people talking about us. I'm tired. Like, we have an opportunity to win too. We're a football NFL team too. We can rise up too. We can do this too. So in that part of the movie, when it gets towards the like we gonna go to the Super Bowl, and I'm just saying this long thing, I tear up every time at that part because I still feel that way about my team. I know people still is down on us. We can be down on our team, but nobody else, because we can do that. So that part, and maybe next year I tear up every time I think I'm standing at the copier or something, and my voice is a voiceover, and I'm telling everybody to something. I'm like, you believe it's something, period, or whatever. That part right there chokes me up every single time, because we never going to get our due respect, but it's up to us to hold up our Philadelphia Eagles when they down. It's up to us to keep them lifted up when they down. We get on them. Trust me. I know I talk enough trash to Mr. Laurie, Jeffrey, Howie Roseman. I talk so much trash, and I say I fire this and fire that, but at the end of the day, I don't want to hear nobody else saying it to me. I want to hear nobody else saying that to me about my team, because I want to hear it.
It's just like having a sibling and someone's talking trash on your sibling.
Yeah,
like I can talk trash on my sibling. You can't. That's not happening.
Exactly. And we know they're not going to always be down. Look what we went through. We went through Andy Reid. I mean, we were just winning. We just never made the big one. Then from there, Mr. Laurie's like, girl, let me just change it up. Get Chip Kelly in here. Oh man, we doing a thing. Oh my God, we like, whoa, like look at our offense, low, and defense. Like, wait a minute now, slow that thing down. You know what I mean? Then after that, he said, I would never give that much power again to another general manager. I mean, to a coach, never. So this is what we're seeing now. We're seeing the aftermath, really, of Chip Kelly and what he did. And at the end of the day, Doug Peterson is no longer here. Foles no longer here. A lot of people is no longer here. Look at where we at today. We got a new whole coaching system, new whole coaching scheme, and we don't know who's going to be here, what player's going to be here.
No one knows. Yeah, no one knows.
However, you have to sit back and say, you know what, Mr. Laurie, please don't let what Chip Kelly did affect your ability to really allow a good coach that has some authority and some say over who he want to bring on as his squad. Because when you're a manager and you want to hire people, that got your back. Come on. I'll leave it right there, sir.
Well, like Bill Parcells used to say, if I'm going to be doing the cooking, I want to buy the groceries. So the coach should. I understand that Howie said that the new coach is not going to have anything to do with picking the talent. I think he should have some say in that, because that's what these coaches get paid to do.
Exactly.
And they know they can visualize and they can assess what's good talent is. To shut them off completely and just say, no, you're going to go to war with what I give you, I don't agree with that. I think it should be a group effort to get the thing done. And they can do it. I hated to see John Dorsey. I hated to see him who did he go to? The Lions? I forget. He went to another team. Yeah, I hated that, because the guy knows talent. He knows how to pick talent.
I'm telling you, Chip Kelly, y'all. I'm telling you, Chip Kelly did this. Chip Kelly messed up their minds. Think about it. He had all their power.
But Shirley,
he was a weasel. He was a weasel. I never cared for him from day one.
But think about it this way. Think about it this way. I believe you guys are people of faith. And so this, to me, I view it as like during the Chip Kelly years, that was hell. But like that was the natural progression of what needed to happen to bring us to the point of winning the Super Bowl. Without Chip Kelly, he doesn't get fired. And if we don't have that open window where we're looking for a coach at that particular time, we don't get Doug Peterson, and we might not get that Super Bowl.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. But I'm talking about the mindset of now they don't want to give no coach, a say so. Like what you said, he won't get the final say so of who he can pick for as his talent.
Right.
Come on, now, Mr. Laurie said it. I would never do that again. Come on.
I feel like they have like a, Nick. Hats off to Nick Sirianni, but I feel like it's the Fisher Price, my first head coaching gig. They had the control over him. They got the leash on him. Like we're gonna have the leash on you for a little bit, the training wheels. But I feel like Lurie has to be smarter and know that the Eagle fan base is smart group of fans.
Exactly.
We can see through this. We've been weathered. We've been beaten. We've
been there, done that.
Been there, done that. We've seen this before. So you cannot like lie to us about our team, because we're so crazy and attentive that we just want to see the best foot forward. And we all know, whether Doug is gone, who got blamed, whether Jim Schwartz is gone now. Carson Wentz might be out the door.
Yeah.
The last person that you can hold blame to is Howie Roseman, who has final say. And if this all this had to happen to have the target on Howie Roseman, that's what had to happen.
And I agree with that. I made that statement on radio on WIP. I said everything that Mr. Lurie said. Everybody is out the way. Saying what you said, Gail. Everybody now, all eyes are on you, Howie. All eyes are on you. So either we want to rise up and you take the credit, we fall. Then what you want to do, Mr. Lurie? You want to send him away for another year, or you want to just get rid of him? What do you want to do? He's tearing up the team.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the only team that has a GM rehab program. Brought in Dorsey. Could you give him some spiritual advisement on what he's doing? And then he's out the door, and you're like, "Are you serious?" So Dorsey had his own issues, and Howie had his own issues. If they form together like Voltron, and their mind and their matter have come together to help Howie, that's great in theory. But again, Howie's on the hot seat. That's where we want it to be. If he can't figure out the draft, we got to get a new GM, and then it starts the whole other process. So
we're going to sink or swim with Howie. That's what it amounts to. Sink or swim.
But we sink or swim with the Eagles our entire lives.
Oh yeah, really.
So he's been getting rid of all those scapegoats, so now it's he's got the light on him.
His spotlight is on him. Yeah.
So going around the room here, if we talk about some things that on our minds that what the Eagles need to do to get back to the Super Bowl. We can start with Chris.
So I've been saying it for a while. Like as soon as they drafted Jalen Hurts, I said for better or worse, it starts the expiration date on Carson Wentz being an Eagle. It didn't matter if you did support him, didn't support him. I felt like the Eagles saw Josh McCown with like a torn hamstring lose a home playoff game because Carson Wentz wasn't his fault because Jadeveon Clowney, it was a cheap shot, wasn't in that game. And I feel like that's the moment when they decided to move in a different direction. I feel like I love Doug Peterson, but I feel like it was time. I felt like he kind of lost like almost like the love of the game. I mean, there was points in the game where like he was just doing illogical things. They weren't running the ball. It didn't seem like he cared much. The press conferences were lackluster. Not saying Nick Sirianni is the end-all be-all solution, but I believe that him and his staff are going to be bringing in a lot of skills to develop players, and they're going to be bringing in different ideas from the college game, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles. I think it's going to be a lot different, but the key thing, you need to build a new foundation. You need to have a strong culture. You need to have a system in place that allows these guys to be successful on and off the field. I think having guys like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Zach Ertz, I don't think he's going to be here anymore, but like guys like that, they're glue guys. You need them in the locker room. I know that a youth movement's awesome. At the same time, you need vets because these guys are coming into the NFL, especially during COVID, and they don't really know exactly the lay of the land. And like having guys like Malcolm Jenkins, Chris Long, and all of them back when we won, and Nick Foles, like back when we won the Super Bowl, that's huge. I mean, Chris Long, he's great in on his podcast. He talks all the time about like what led them to win the Super Bowl, what was important, like how the differences between New England and the Eagles. I just feel like the Eagles need to have an identity. I've been saying that ever since Frank Reich left. It just seems like on offense, they don't know what they're doing. On defense, it felt like they were playing catch up for the mistakes that Carson was making. And then the thing is, everyone was looking at the symptoms instead of the illness. I felt like we kept on putting Band-Aids on a concussion because everyone's like, Carson's the problem, this guy's a problem, this guy's a problem. But at the same time, it's like all the dominoes are falling, and the last one up is Howie Roseman because Carson's about to be gone, Ertz is about to be gone, Doug Peterson's gone, Andrew Berry's with the Browns, John Dorsey's with the Lions, Louis Riddick, who despises Howie Roseman, left, and now he's on TV. Joe Douglas is on the Jets. So it really comes down to it's about to be the Jalen Hurts show, and that's Howie's last lifeline. For better or worse, it's going to expose Howie that he's been the issue all along. He caught lightning with the Super Bowl, and that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, hopefully they're given all the keys to the kingdom to be successful next year and build a foundation going forward.
We'll go with we'll go with Barry next.
Wow, where do you start really? When you look at the team, number one is health. That's the number one thing. The last 2 years, not just last year, the year before, we were decimated with injuries to not second string players, to our first string our players on both sides of the ball, with injuries after injuries after injuries. And we're getting old. We got to face that. We're getting old. The offensive line's getting up there long in the tooth. This has to be addressed, and it has to be addressed smart in the draft, maybe free agency, but mainly in the draft. And with that first pick, I hope they keep the number 6 pick or move up and draft an impact player, such as a wide receiver. How we could let Justin Jefferson go, how we could let Metcalf go, and all these other great wideouts go, and we're sitting there with sitting on our hands. We got to do a much better job of drafting, and at key positions we're hurting big time. Linebacker, we could use a stud linebacker. I like that Parsons out of Penn State. Our defensive backfields, so. We need some help there. I need another running back to go with Miles Sanders. Need depth along the offensive line and the defensive line. And again, we have to have some luck with the injuries. It seems like since my friend Dr. Dorsheimer and Dr. DeStefano and Dr. DeLuca, when the Eagles let them go right after the Super Bowl, they let them go. They were there for like 28 years. They let them go, went with another unit. And since then, we can't stay healthy to save our soul. But that's the main thing. You got to stay healthy, and hopefully next year it'll be different. Everything will fall our way. We'll be a little lucky, and maybe be back. And we get to the playoffs, anything can happen. But the main thing is we got to be much smarter with the choices that they make. Some of them you scratch your head on draft day. Who did they just pick? Yeah, come on. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, especially you don't get up there to like we're at number 6 this year. You don't get there that often unless you're a real bad team like Cleveland was. And finally, Cleveland with John Dorsey, they got it right, picking the right players. But we're not going to get up there. Hopefully, we're not going to get up this high again. You got to draft somebody that's going to make a difference right away, right on the jump. Right away is going to be a guy that's going to stand out, not some guy that's going to take 3 years to
Marcus
get
Smith
into your system. Yeah.
Marcus Smith.
That was another example.
Yeah.
Well, we could write a book on all the busted draft picks that we had. Brutal. But I have faith. I have a strong faith, and God has a plan for everything. And I think God's going to shine down on the Philadelphia Eagles fans again soon. And we'll be back in the highlight once again. The hatchet will be dancing again. I'll be busting the move, baby.
Yes.
How about Jimmy?
Well, I think this team obviously had a lot of holes this year. We talked about that. And look, we got a new coaching staff. The biggest issue is Howie Roseman. We all know that. He's still here, but now all eyes are on him. So if we're going to get any change, it needs to be in his department. We need to draft well. You've heard it from the last couple of guys that said it. Look, we talked about on one of the last shows during the season, draft capital. We need to add more. So how do you do that? You trade away guys like Ertz. Maybe Kelsey's gone. Maybe Wentz gets traded here. There's possibility that this team isn't too far off. I know it's going to maybe take a couple years, but I've got some hope, man. And like these guys said, we've been through way worse as Eagles fans. So some of these younger people may not understand, but we've been through it. And look, let's just ride for our team, whatever happens. Our only job as fans is to be fans. So let's be the best fans we can be and ride with our team.
That's right.
Sorry, I was closing my bathroom today.
I just should have came here and shot for the stars and the Dallas Cowboy logo's in the toilet.
Yeah.
You guys come up here. I want you to do that first thing. Go in and twist it.
Count on it.
Consider it done.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
How about Shirley?
Well, for me, I want us to get back to trust. Trust in the locker room. Trust in the building. When we started talking about You hearing all these gossiping, you hearing all this stuff coming out the locker room, the Eagles players or anonymous sources. That right there, that's going to kill everything that you're trying to build. I don't care what it is you're trying to build. We talking about the draft, better drafting. We talking about better coaching. We talking about getting bringing on more veterans. I mean, veterans to help with the young. All of that is good, but if there's no trust in the locker room, if there's no trust amongst the players, then it's all for nothing. We need to be able to trust. And who is that? Who does that go to? It's upper management, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. Come on, get back to where when Andy Reid was doing, where the guys was able to keep a lid and keep that trust thing going on. But now everybody is just running to the media. Everybody or they what you call it, the talent. The ones that get them the money and all that stuff,
the agents.
Thank you. Or the agents that's running their money. If somebody is saying something about you and you didn't say it, put a cap on it. Say, come and say something. Stop it. That's the part that I don't like. I don't like mess, and I'd hate to hear my team keep being in the news because of anonymous source from the Eagle locker room. That right there is killing everything.
Yeah.
And why is it killing it? Because upper management is doing stuff that's probably shady that the guys don't like. So we can talk about drafting right. We can talk about bringing on the right people. We can talk about all that. But if there's no trust at all, then you can forget about the football team coming together as a group of guys that say, you know what, I got your back no matter what. I got your back no matter what. And I think one of y'all said it earlier. During the time when we was going to the Super in 2017, they went out together. They did things together, off court, to where, off the field to where as though, they brought their trust together as friends and not only as colleagues, but as friends. So to me, I would like to see them to bring that trust together. And I know Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and, Corey Clement, and, guys like that can assist with doing that, and also Kelsey, it's other guys that can do it too. But at the end of the day, if upper management don't see that, listen, there's a problem. And I think we're the cause of it. Look in the mirror, upper management, look in the mirror. Let these guys see that they can trust you. If they can't trust you, then they're going to be gone. They're going to check out. And then that's where the hurt is coming from. That's where the injuries is coming from. All of this is coming from, man, I'm out of here. They checked out. And we don't want that. We need them guys to be on that field to play lights out every time they're on the field, even on the sidelines. Don't be checked out. Trust. To me, I want us to bring that trust back.
Now Prime.
Pity packing off of what everybody said right now. Look, it's all about, we need to go into the season and dot our I's, cross our T's. We need to get it together. I'm not trying to get my hype level at Miss Shirley's level right now because I'm just going to go ahead and keep it plain and simple. All right. No matter what, I'm here to support my team. Whatever they decide to go with going forward, I'm with the Eagles all the way. Everybody knows that by now. Everybody knows where I stand with it. But we definitely have to start getting things in order. Not hearing from players is kind of bothering. The divide that they're talking about that's in the locker rooms is bothering. The organization not being able to make decisions is bothering. I'm running out of fingernails and I'm running out of skin on my fingers, wondering what the hell is going to happen with this team. So I'm just trying to keep my patience at a decent level right now, and it's kind of hard when we don't know nothing at all. I'm just tired of the rumors. I'm tired of all the BS that's coming out these past couple weeks, these past couple days. I'm at the point where I don't even want to turn on my phone because I'm just tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
But if anybody from the organization is watching this, which I hope you are, get your shit together. Give us what we want, and we want to have that momentum, that hype going into this season. Give us something. By not giving us nothing right now is what's really pissing me off. All right, so That's where I stand with everything. But Jimmy, like Jimmy said, at the end of the day, it's about showing support to the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's never going to stop coming from me.
Yeah.
Nice, a nice one. Well,
very well.
Tim.
Yeah, well, I think probably going to repeat a lot of stuff here, but I think one of the biggest things is that the team needs to kind of find and stick with an identity on both sides of the ball. Because like in the 2017 season, they had LeGarrette Blount, they had Jay Ajayi, they had Corey Clement was going, they had a real pound the ball kind of attitude. And then they would also kind of go off of that with their playing of play action, and a lot of passing attacks was kind of based off of that harsh running game that they had. I think they just need to find an identity. I think with the draft, the key is like he needs to hit on these draft picks, because over years of him having his strength just be free agency and trades, eventually you just end up with a team that's a little older, a little injury prone, and a little bit more expensive. Yeah. And I think that's one of the biggest problems coming into next year too, is that the cap is just, we're in cap hell going into next year. And we need to be able to hit on these young guys so we can just keep people in-house and kind of groom them and train them and develop them. And that's kind of like my last point. It's we need to learn how to develop talent, because we get these players, a lot of the players we draft, they're not complete busts. You see it. Right. They go to other teams and they have success. But Nelson we just Aguilar. Cannot. Yeah, Nelson Aguilar. You got Sidney Jones didn't have a great year, but he had a couple of picks this year. We get these players and they're not great, but we don't develop them into being something that they could be. So I would like to see this coaching staff kind of show a little bit of development ability. That's the biggest thing, I think.
I think the biggest thing I'm looking for from this team is a culture change, first and foremost, whether it's with the team, but it also starts with the top. Front office has to get their stuff together, whether it's drafting, being held accountable. You want players to be held accountable. Let's hold the guy who has final say accountable moving forward, and then we'll proceed to work things out. I think, at the end of the day, it's about talent. The guy who's picking the players that play on the field and on this team, that's the most important person for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Exactly. They have to pick the right players in order to succeed. Yeah. So culture change, I think in the locker room, guys trusting each other, like you said, Shirley. I have never heard so much. We have sources here and there, but like I have never heard so much this year than any year, and that reflects everything that I've heard is what we saw this year. And I've heard from one source saying that there was so much meddling going on from Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie that they have never seen that ever in his career. So that meddling you talk about, that could be a reason why Doug Peterson's not here. He doesn't want to be micromanaged. The players don't want to be micromanaged. They want to have a feel like this is their team and this is their culture, and they build it from within. So drafting better, team culture, trust, and I think we get back to where we want to be.
Didn't Doug mention when he left that he told somebody, for one of the reporters, that he was tired of having so many people in his ear, many different people. Yeah. So I'm sure I heard something earlier in the year that a lot of it had to do with Zach Ertz when
contract dispute.
Yeah, when they didn't redo his contract, and it filtered into the locker room and trickled down from there. I think that had a lot to do with it. The players were, a lot of players were on Zach Ertz's side. Some they didn't care, but I think that had a lot to do with it. There's got to be, what was a couple years ago, it was one city, one team, one goal or something. That's what it should be. That's what it should be again. And I hope it comes to be. We also need somebody as an offensive coordinator who's going to know how to call plays. I'm no rocket scientist, but I could have called plays a heck of a lot. But this past year, we had a decimated offensive line with 3 of the starters out. And we have Miles Sanders, who's averaging like 6 yards. I forget what game it was. It might have been the Cleveland Browns. 6 yards a carry, and he stops running them and throws the ball 50 times. Come on. You got to be smarter than that. You got to be smart.
I just
Barry
wanted
just said about people, having, setting records for 13 different offensive lines. Well, I saw a comment earlier. Somebody said, the injuries, it's huge. Obviously, the past few years, injuries, we got rid of that strength and conditioning coach. So, we are trying to make changes there too. So just wanted to throw that in there.
And I mean,
I just don't want us to really forget about Deuce, man. I know none of us said anything about
that hurt.
Deuce.
No, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts losing Deuce. It hurts
I know.
losing Deuce.
I wish him much success.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
He will have success. He
I'm
will.
going to be following him, and I just
he's going to do very well.
Yeah. I'm excited for him, and that was a hurt piece.
Hell of a guy. Me and Gail
Oh,
had the pleasure of meeting him at the Eagles Autism Challenge. He had a conversation with us. Hands down, a hell of a guy. I mean, I wish him nothing but the best. I wish they would have honestly maybe gave him the OC chance.
Yeah, at least.
You know what I mean? At least that. But, hey, it's a business. I get it. But, hands down, the man is great. I wish him nothing but the best. And he is one of many of my, favorite Eagle players. I used to love watching that man play.
Yeah, and it really seems to me that Deuce really had a control over, he was a players type coach. The players really seemed to like playing for him. He was a true leader, and that's really what brings me to what I think the Eagles need to get back to the Super Bowl is that 10-letter word leadership. I think this past year that it was completely absent. There was no individual player that was stepping up in the locker room, and all these rumors were swirling around. There was nobody that stood up and just stomped on it and said, forget about what all the outside noise that's going on right now.
Exactly.
We're focusing on the next game. There wasn't that going on. And then, as Shirley said, with the trust and how it seems right now that we have a front office that's literally conspiring against our own players to try and get them removed and ousted from the city. It's just. It's a bad look. And for potential free agents that would want to be coming here, just looking at this from the outside in, it's not a pretty sight right now. And it's not exactly intriguing offer at this moment. And so with all of that, with the mistrust and with the lack of leadership, and quite frankly, the overall age of our coaching staff has been bothersome to me. I think we've got a lot of young, inexperienced guys, and there's not really going to be that vet presence even in our coaching staff. And that to me is concerning.
I have socks that are older than those guys.
I know. That's what I like. Our linebackers coach, I'm a baby. He's a few months older than I am. And so it's to me, it just seems like something. I'm praying that the Eagles can surprise me, but it's not something that I'm really feeling confident about at this moment.
It's an unknown. Hey, none of us know what we have here.
It's going to take some time, and that's the part where you have to be patient and we have to show some faith again. Eagle fans were picking apart the pressure. Some fans, I just wanted to listen to the ideas that Sirianni brought to the table, the whole mindset of working to your players' strengths, doing what they do best. That's something that we didn't do last year. It took us forever to roll out Carson Wentz, where that's where he's most successful. Run the football. I mean,
where was a run pass option this year? Where were the RPOs?
Yeah. I mean, jet sweeps when you have guys like Jalen Reagor who play like Tyreek Hill, but it's one of those things where you just gotta have faith. But if we're gonna have faith in somebody, could it be Uncle Andy Reid in the Super Bowl? Uncle Andy, he's the family member you feel like he's part of your family member. I don't know about you, but for me, Uncle Andy has always been a guy who I've always respected. He didn't get it done here, but he got it done.
But he had us in the playoffs almost every year. And for an old cat like me that was used to 3-13 and 4-12, you got to give the man his props. And I really feel bad about his boy. He went through with his other son with the drug problem, and now with this son. And was it his grandchildren that were hurt in the car accident?
Yeah.
Or was it something?
One of them in critical, one of them not.
How can he possibly have his mind on coaching tomorrow? I'd love to see him get another one, but on the other hand, I'd love to see Shady McCoy with Tampa get a ring. I think he deserves a ring. That's another one that should have never been shipped out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kelly. If you're watching this, Chip, I don't like you.
Screw the Buccaneers.
Thank God. Chip,
Yeah,
They beat us the last game at the Vet, the first game at the Link. I despise the Buccaneers, and I despise
right.
Tom Brady.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do not want to see him to win.
So
No,
I mean,
no.
if we're going around the room, Shirley, who are you picking to win the Super Bowl this weekend?
Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
I love that kid.
Yeah.
There's something about him. I want to see him win. I want to see him do it again. And of course, Andy Reid, we have too much history with him, but something with this young fella and how the guys rally around him and he take ownership, he take charge. And Jalen Hurts remind me a little bit of him. When he got out there, his first game and stuff, not that he was nervous or anything. I'm like, wow. But when I see this young man, when he went down and I started praying for him, I said, no, he can't be hurt. He cannot be hurt. Please let this man be able to play. So hopefully they make it to the Super Bowl. And, whoever, make it, he win. Now that I know he playing up against Tom Brady, Tom, go sit down. Like I'm tired. Sit down, Tom. I'm tired.
I'm tired of his act.
Hey, Shirley, you want to whisper something in his ear? You're right next to it.
Tom Brady. Let me tell you something, dude. Get down, get out. You know what? You need to show that play with Brandon Graham.
Strip sack.
Stripped him, and he just sat on his hands.
Yep.
He just sit on his hands like a little kid in kindergarten.
He knew he was defeated.
Mommy, they took the ball from me, Mommy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we got Shirley. We got one for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll go with Prime. Who are you picking for the Super Bowl?
I'm going with Uncle Andy.
Uncle Andy.
I'm going with Uncle Andy.
All right. That's two for the Chiefs. Chris, what do you got?
Oh, you guys are gonna hate me.
Come on now.
I just do not like Tom Brady, but I'm a huge Mike Evans fan. I've been rooting for that guy since college after hearing a story about how his dad got murdered when he was outside playing basketball. And I'm just like, I love Mike Evans, and I'd really like to see that guy raise a trophy. I mean, 7 straight seasons with 1,000 yards, and he was just like constantly losing. I mean, I hate that Tom Brady is the one to get them to the Super Bowl, but I think it's going to be a good game. 33-30 Bucks.
No.
Wow.
Okay.
I got one for you. Put Chris in the bathroom.
Absolutely.
Chris in the bathroom.
That's his own opinion. You may not like it, but
Barry, who you got?
I got to go with Andy. Too many years he gave us a lot of good football. He had a couple bad breaks. And here again, if the front office would have been bringing in, they brought Terrell Owens in 1 year, and look what happened. They got to the Super Bowl. The next year it all imploded. But if you would have got Donovan some real wide receivers, it might have been a different story. But Andy Reid kept it all together. And for what he's been through in his life, and especially now, this latest thing with his boy and his grandkids, your heart has to go with Andy Reid. So, yeah, I'm going Kansas City. You want to score? I would say like 34-27, maybe 34-27. Kansas City.
I like it.
You telling me Todd Kingston and James Thrash aren't all pro?
Oh, you know what? I have a shrine outside the locker room. Their statues are out there now because they meant so much to us.
Yeah. So we got 3-1 here. Jimmy, who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
Well, look, Chris, you are going in the bathroom. I'm a Chris Godwin fan myself, so I enjoy watching that receiving core. But once Tom Brady got there, changed for me. I talk about my hatred for the Buccaneers, seeing them beat us in our last game at the Vet and then our first game at the Link. That has been a sour taste in my mouth forever. I dislike them with a passion. They're like the Saints to me. But it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a real close game. Tom Brady is much of a cheater, and much as we hate him, he's great. He's damn good. So it's going to be a battle. But Patrick Mahomes and Uncle Andy, man, just like Prime said, I'm riding with Unc. I love Andy Reid. Sorry he's going through all this stuff. Hope everything works out for that child. But look, Big Red, go do it, man. He seems to be somebody that goes through adversity. He picks it up. So let's go. Patrick Mahomes. And look, notice I didn't say Pat. Piss his mom off. Patrick, go out, beat some ass, and get yourself another Super Bowl. I'm going with 36-32.
4-1 here. 4-1. Tim. Keeping it real.
Yeah. I gotta say Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes has just like such a pure love for the game. When I watch him play, it's just like it's incredible the way he just loves being out there with his teammates. You can just tell. Mm-hmm. And I think my prediction is, because this has kind of been the trend with Patrick Mahomes, I think the Bucs are going to go up like 10 or 12 kind of early, and then Patrick Mahomes is going to come back and they're going to win by 10. I forget what the number is. He has some kind of unbelievable streak of like 6 or 7 games in a row where they go down by double digits, they win.
Yeah.
So I think Brady's going to get them up early, and they're going to get all excited, and then Mahomes is just going to do his thing.
Okay. Look at that comeback last year that Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So I say 34-24 if I'm giving a score.
Okay.
Evan.
Chris, can I get a courtesy flush in the bathroom, please? Yeah, I'm
there we go. Put him in the bathroom.
Listen, it comes from a place. This isn't me wanting the Bucs to win. I want Andy to win another Super Bowl. I would love to see that happen. I've watched Tom Brady play my entire life. I've learned to never, ever bet against Tom Brady. And in this, what is it? Like his 21st, he's been playing forever. He threw 42 touchdowns this year, 10 interceptions, 4,600 yards. The man still got it. Like he's still got it. And he's got an electrifying wide receiving core. He's got a decent defense. I think Tommy's going to get it done.
Always playing hearts and flowers for you.
I mean, hey, Evan, you want to make out with the man? I mean, you're
come on.
I'm not his son, so I don't get the privilege.
Would you won't make it in front of him?
Yeah, I would not.
So let me ask you, Evan. So how did you feel about Brady when he played against Austin? Now, you showing me something.
Yeah. So when I grew up, we ended up getting a dog right after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And my mom, not a big football gal, she wanted to name the dog Brady. I was like, hell no.
Hey, put her in the bathroom.
I know. It was no relation to Tom Brady or anything like that. She just liked the name Brady. I was like, that's not happening. I grew up hating Tom Brady my entire life. But if I can be completely real, once we won that Super Bowl and we overcame him, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. It's not like I sit here and I go out of my way to hate Tom Brady all the time anymore. It's like, we beat you. I don't care. Go do your thing, man. That's kind of where I stand with it.
Okay, I just wanted to know, because you said every year you root for Tom Brady, and I'm like,
no.
Right.
No, that's not at all what I meant to say.
That's what I'm talking.
Everybody's going to the bathroom now.
Yeah, what happened to the year when we was playing?
No. That's not the case. I am not.
You're right though, Evan. 13 years we lived with that weight on our shoulders, so it was so beautiful to beat his ass, man.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Uncle Andy. I feel like his offense is dynamic. I feel like as a football fan, pure football fan, watching like the old versus like the new, like the next. Patrick Mahomes is that guy, and just watching him play, the things that he does, off balance throws, no look passes. I mean, he's on another level. That's what elite looks like, and that's what fun looks like. Those guys are having lots of fun.
Yeah.
And overall, I think Andy Reid does a great job of finding talent, whether it's finding players who are rough around the edges, but bringing them together as a team. I like what Andy Reid does, putting together a unit that they play as one. And I think with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, this could go on for a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, like I'm not rooting for Tom Brady. I'm just he's shown me what greatness is. But for the Eagles, if you want to be the best, you got to be the best. And we beat Tom Brady. That makes it even better.
Even sweeter, huh?
So I'm going with the Casey. And I was talking with my boy. He's a diehard Patriot fan. I said, who's going to win the Super Bowl? He's like, Patriots South. I'm like, what?
Yeah, right. I know a Pats fan who suddenly is all of a sudden all about the Bucs.
Oh yeah,
Patriots. Just because you got Brady and Gronk, you ain't riding. That's not your team. You bandwagon turd.
I saw
my aunt's a Patriots fan, and she's rooting for Tom Brady. You know what I mean? She's all of a sudden a Bucs fan. Come on, stop.
I saw this morning that some cat laid over $3 million for Tampa Bay to win. Did you see that? It was on social media.
I saw that. Yeah.
Over $3 million.
I'm not going to feel bad when he loses all that money.
That person has too much money.
Yeah, it's way too much money. Absolutely.
You laugh
Give
at
it
New
some of the
England
starting
South.
people.
You laugh at New England South, but we have slowly become Indianapolis East.
Yeah,
Right.
Good point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The Cheagles.
Yeah.
Oh, Doug.
Hey, I like it, man. People don't like the young coaching staff and stuff. I'm excited for the unknown, just like we were excited for the unknown with Jalen Hurts.
Hey, they might have great ideas. Who knows? We got to give them a chance. Got to give them a chance.
Absolutely do.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the young coaching staff.
Just give me something to root for. That's all. I'm waiting patiently.
I tell you, one good thing they did was keeping Jeff Stoutland as the offensive line coach. That guy is
100%.
good. He knows what he's doing. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
But I also believe in the
Well
guys.
respected.
I also believe in the guys because at the end of the day, if I don't care who they bring in as my manager, coach, whatever, if I know I'm playing maybe for another season or another team, I'm gonna play my butt off. You know, I'm gonna play my butt off. So when I'm on that field, when my number is called and my play is called, I'm going out there and I'm playing to, if that's my last play, I am playing. So I don't care who's the coach, who's the quarterback, it doesn't matter. So get me on that field, call my number. You know how many guys' numbers that don't get called? So
Yeah,
once
that's
the numbers
right.
get called,
Yeah.
I think their numbers gonna get called now. I want to see Corey Clement rise up. I want to see his numbers go up even more. Look what he
Yeah.
did for us in the Super Bowl. Come
Corey's-
on, man.
Corey's a good person.
I mean, we do need a running back coach. I mean, Shirley, Shirley Dawkins over here.
Yeah.
No.
Can
She's
we?
got me ready to run through a brick wall. She'll be able to get those guys to do it too, I think.
I heard Brian Westbrook was offered him the other day. He put it out there that he would gladly would love to be the running backs coach for the Eagles.
Hey, why not?
I'd be about
Yeah.
that. Sure.
I would love that. He's one of my favorite players too.
He's been a little spicy in the media lately. He tells
yeah.
it like it is, and
Yeah,
maybe
he does,
he could tell the players like it is. I mean, I'd be all for it. But
Yeah.
before we get out of here, last word on the birds. We'll start with Prime.
Yeah, like I said, man, just give me something to start rooting for. Get me back on the level where I was accustomed to being on. Not hearing nothing, not seeing anything is dragging too long. So I'm ready to go into the draft. I hope some good decisions to make. Nick Sirianni, you got all my blessings, man. You know what I mean? You're the leader of my team now. So just go in there and do your thing. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit about what everybody else thinks about, your first day impression? Me speaking truth about that's not the easiest shit. But that doesn't make you or break you. You know what I mean? It's about how, what you're going to do with our team, the game plan you're going to put together to go ahead and bring us back on the top. That's all I'm looking forward to. So please just, let's get this thing rolling. You know what I mean? If we're going to make a decision, make the goddamn decision. If we're not going to make the decision, then let's go out there and put this team together and get us back to the Super Bowl so we can have something else to talk about. So I can add a second trophy to this trophy that's sitting here next to me. So Evan could get another tattoo. Well, you know what I mean? Just give us something. Give us a reason. That's all I'm asking for.
Tim, last word on the birds.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm personally pretty excited about the young coaching staff. I think they're going to bring in some interesting ideas. I think they're going to bring in some of that. You look at Sean McVay. I know they didn't have the best year the past couple of years, but I think just bring in kind of a young mentality and bringing in some of those new plays, some of those I don't know, that's good. Too into X's and O's, but those crossing patterns and stuff like that. I just love that stuff. But I give it like Prime says, give us something to cheer for, give us something to be excited about. Draft someone good. Show us that you're going to develop these players that we have now and maybe develop some younger guys too. Just, give us something good and go Birds.
Go Birds.
Shirley, last word on the birds.
Yeah, I echo what y'all saying. And at the end of the day, it is about the birds. It's about the Philadelphia Eagles and that logo. So every time we give crap to the management, at the end of the day, know that Mr. Lurie, Howie, y'all know how much we love the team. Y'all already know that. So what we're saying to you all, don't try to go out there and do stuff and like y'all hiding things from us because we smell it all the time, and we're going to call you to it. We're going to hold you to it, and you should expect that from us because we expect nothing better but for us to be rising up one team, one city together all day long. So when you go out there to draft, when you go out there to bring in other coordinators, let's do that with some pride. Come on now. We the Philadelphia Eagles, man. Come on. We are the team that we've been in the media since the regular season. We are still being talked about. Look at that. If people didn't care about us, they wouldn't say nothing else about us. But we care. We let you know how much we love this team, and we need you all to show us how much y'all love us. As we want to stand tall for our Philadelphia Eagles, we need y'all to stand tall for us. So it's back on y'all to do what y'all supposed to do. When the draft come up, make us proud, man. Come on, let's go.
She get me
Yeah,
hyped.
thank God Barry's following her because I wouldn't be able to.
That's why I call Shirley the first lady of Eagles Nation. I gave her that handle. First lady of Eagles Nation. I love you, Shirley. When you come up here, when you bring your family up here, when the locker room opens up next year, that's going to be a party. I promise you. We will have
I'm trying
a party
to tell you.
Remember.
You better believe it.
I can't wait. You want to know what I think? What the deal is? My last thought.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I really think, like I said earlier, the draft is key. You got to know what you're doing. You got to make the wise decisions. And I know Howie Roseman isn't doing this by himself. He has a bunch of guys there. I don't know him personally, but I know he has a group of guys that are advising him. Howie, if somebody advises you to take a player and then the other 3 or 4 or 5 guys say the same thing, don't go with your gut instinct. Listen to the guys that are around you. That's what you're paying. That's what Mr. Lurie, Mr. Smolensky, and you, Howie, are paying these guys. You're paying them the big money. So let them give you advice and listen to the advice. Don't just say, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to take the kicker from Vanderbilt. That's who I'm taking with this. I think she's going to be great. Give me a break. Come on. Get real. Eagles fans, like I said, there's no better fans than Eagles fans. We bleed green 365 days a year. We have pride. We love our team. Just show some of the same pride and be smart about it and bring the players in here that are going to get us to the promised land. The last guy that got us a Super Bowl win was Nick Foles, first name of Nick. Our new coach, Nick Sirianni, is that name Nick? He's going to get you a promised land. You got to believe. You got to believe. I believe. Thank you, Michael. It'll be good. Everything's going to be all right. Keep the faith.
Yeah. Now, how about Evan?
So, I mean, hold on. Let me get me up first. Personally, this offseason has not been ideal. There's been so many question marks that have come from it. There's been so much speculation that just circling around this team. It's not where we want to be right now. But I just want to say I am giving all the luck to the Eagles. I hope that these young coaches can figure it out. I hope that they instill some confidence in me. But what I really want to take this time to do is just thank you, Shirley and Barry, for bringing this to us, man. Like this movie was awesome. This experience, having you guys on and just being able to talk about the great times that we had as Eagles fans. It was really a fantastic time. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming on.
We definitely got to make a day to hang out with both of these.
When Shirley comes up, we'll have a 4thandjawn party along with Shirley, and I love it. It'll be something. Can I just say something again? I want to thank everybody that saw the movie, that bought the DVD, that got it on Amazon and Apple TV, and for all the nice things that they said. And a lot of people ask me, Barry, what was your favorite part of Super Bowl Sunday in that movie? And I got to say, out of all the neat stuff that happened that day, Pennsylvania Senator proclaimed it Barry the Hatchet Vagnoni Day, gave me a proclamation.
Nice.
And so many neat things. Of course, the win.
The legend. He's the legend.
No legend. Just an Eagles nut job. No.
You're legend in these parts, Barry.
No, God bless you. God bless you. Thank you.
You're a legend.
My most favorite thing in the movie, maybe next year, is when a bunch of my friends were giving speeches about what I meant to them and my lovely wife Dawn, what we meant to them, and being here in the locker room, what it meant. but I know you saw it when our oldest grandson, Griffin, when he got up there and gave the speech, and at the closing of his speech, when he said, "Pop, Tom Brady might be the MVP of the league, but you're my MVP, most valuable, Pop."
Yeah,
I lost it. I cried like a baby, and that forever will be in my heart, because my family and my friends, that's what it's all about with me. To me, that's worth all the money in the world. I don't care. As long as I can be with my family and my friends on game day, nothing better than that. And I want to thank you guys thank you so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Open
to be with my girl,
invitation anytime
Shirley.
you guys want to come on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And before we get out, I just wanted to say, like, thank you again. I'm going to reiterate what Evan said. You guys exemplify what real Eagles fans are. You talk about, seeing, the eye, you know in the eyes, the crazy when you see it. So I appreciate it. And that's really what 4th and Jawn is about. Like, a lot of crazy Eagle fans, diehards. We're not just the guys that you read an article, you look for headlines, like we live this. This is like a 24/7 thing for us. I need to talk about this every day. This is just me. Sometimes I hate that I'm this. Like, I cannot be.
I love it. I love it.
Well, sometimes you're like, I spend 70 hours a week on this. Why do I can't stop. I love it.
Like, it's in your baby. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, it's just it's a great feeling meeting great fans like you guys. But before we get out of here, I definitely want to play that trailer.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing before we leave. I want to thank you all too, and everybody from Waveling Productions, Kyle Thrash, and the fact that he had a dream, and the fact that he went with his gut to just start shooting Eagle fans just all over, and never knew what the Lord had in store for him. So I want to thank him and everybody, from there. And also I want to invite you all. I've been waiting. I have a website, and I have a show called A Dash of Shirley, and it's a-shirley.com. And I haven't been able to start it back up yet because I had death in my family. And so it's just been a lot going on, but I'm reaching out to y'all and telling you all now, I definitely want to have you all on my show.
Okay.
If you go to my website, you can already see some stuff that I had when I was doing my own podcast and stuff. But now I'm getting ready to start probably getting back there, maybe March. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, and I love you all and all y'all in my prayers for your families and your friends. Just remember, if you haven't spoken to anyone in a long time, reach out to them today.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
So, thank you. I wanted to say that with you. Love
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shirley. Love you, girl.
And with that being said, here is the trailer.
Available on Amazon.
The national perception of the Philadelphia sports fan is that they are lunatics.
Animalistic freaks that have a jail inside their stadium.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. It's a union city. It's a rough and tumble city.
The only thing they've cared about since 1776 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles Nation, baby.
Being raised up in North Philly, you got to be hard. Whatever we do, we have to work at it 10 times hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the soul of the Eagle fan base, Eagles Shirley.
I love my team. I ride or die for them. But they got the one to do the same thing for us. They got the one to do the same thing for the fans.
I feel your frustration. 60 years in a slump.
Carson Wentz threw 2 touchdowns. The Eagles beat Washington.
They don't have Wentz, they don't win the game.
Absolutely.
Run the motherfucking ball. Think run it.
Wentz, he's going to run.
Wentz is out for the season with a torn ACL.
Eagles' Super Bowl dreams ride on their backup quarterback.
Nick Foles is now taking the lead.
They lose one player, and now all of a sudden, they lay down and die.
I believe in my team. It's going to happen soon. Every year I believe.
A Super Bowl championship in this town is the holy grail.
If I would have to go, I would want it to be during a game.
Did you ever doubt Rocky? Ready! We're the city of underdogs.